Hello, welcome back to Daily Adventure. I'm Jessica Daly, and I am at a dog park right now with my dog Wilson. I'm currently in Virginia. We just left Maryland where we were visiting Adam's mom. We went to Patapsco Park. Adam grew up going to that park, so that was really fun. We recently returned from the GetOn ADV Adventure Rally in South Dakota. So the plan was that Adam's friends were going to meet up a week before the rally, and they were going to ride the BDR, the backcountry discovery routes, and they were going to camp along the way. So they're going to ride the trails and camp. And the weather was like 106 degrees, so hot. Ended up at a campground. Guys would wake up at like 5 and they'd be done riding by 1 p.m. and then they'd be back at the campsite, and then we'd find some place with air conditioning to go get some dinner together. It was a lot of fun, actually. I thought I was going to be, a couple days on my own. I ended up hanging out with them quite a lot, which was really fun. We went to a bar one night that had a wedding going on. Like, I don't think they rented the restaurant. I think they just kind of like decided we're going to have our wedding reception here. So I got my picture with the bride. So one of the days when Adam and his buddies were riding on the trails together, it was 106-degree heat. I had Wilson, I sent him to a daycare that had air conditioning, and I rode out to a lake. It was a gorgeous lake, and it was a fun ride out there. And I had decided that I was going to ride out there, and then I was going to dip in the lake, and then ride on back to camp, and that was going to feel so refreshing. When I got to the lake, I realized I didn't bring any sandals or anything, and the shore of the beach was all shale. Okay, I made it to the lake. My motorcycle's up there. My riding gear is on a picnic table up there. And I did forget to pack sandals, so it's a little rocky shore and pine needly. So I guess I'm wearing my boots down to the water. It's friggin' hot. I'm going in. I looked absolutely ridiculous, but it was very fun, and the water was absolutely refreshing. This feels great. Yeah, RevZilla does a really great job with the GetOn Fest, and previous years we've taken the adventure van and just put Adam's motorcycle on the back, and then under the bed we have the Grom. It's a little pit bike, and so while Adam would be off riding the trails on his big bike, I would just kind of tool around town on the Grom. But this year we brought a trailer, and it had my bike in it, so I got to ride some trails out there for the first time. It was just dynamite. Actually, the first day of the festival, I took Ben Dragoo's dart training. I took the beginner and moderate classes, and that was just awesome. I am just starting to really ride more standing up on my bike, which is making a huge difference. That training was really good to kind of get used to standing up and using my rear brake to skid, and all those things I have to practice more. And then on Friday, I went to meet up with the ladies for the moderate ride. Someone came over and she was really, really nervous about riding. There was no easy. The easier ride was the day before. She was really nervous, and so I said, all right, I'll ride with you. And then we ended up kind of assembling a different group outside of the woman. It was just a real small group, maybe 4 of us. And then Spurgeon Dunbar from RevZilla came over with his buddy Carlos, and they said, we'll ride with you guys. So that was awesome, just awesome. Carlos led the ride, and then I followed him all day. I rode right behind him, and he was excellent at like keeping a pace that I could keep up with. It was just challenging enough for me. We stopped for lunch at the Sugar Shack, and Zach from Zach and Ari, Zach joined us for lunch, and that was very fun. He's so great, just a lovely person. And then we continued to ride. So really great day with the people from RevZilla. Thank you so much, Spurgeon, if you see this. And the next day, Adam's buddies, who had been riding in 106 or 7-degree weather all week, 2 of his buddies offered to ride with me. One said they'd lead and the other said they'd sweep, and then the rest of his buddies ended up agreeing to join the ride. So it was kind of funny. I ended up going with his buddies, and so I agreed to let Adam join us now that I had assembled essentially all of his buddies into a group if he rode the Grom. Him riding the Grom was perfect. Oh, someone's coming to this dog park. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Get On Fest was awesome. Can't wait for next year. Cheers.